Good morning, beloveds. As you can tell by the different background, I am not home. I told you I was going to go to a different park. What I didn't say yesterday was I was going to go to a Renaissance Festival park. We are headed to Scarborough Fair, which is up in, it's a little south of Dallas. So, yeah. So I'm currently in Corsicana. And that's the reason why I'm coming to you an hour early. Because we need to be on the road by 9, so we'll probably leave a little early. So that's what's happening in my life today. Hopefully, and there's a bunch of baseball players here, so it was interesting when we went down to breakfast. There's all these baseball players. All right, but it is May 6th. Our title is Choices. Our author is Peggy Bassett, which is interesting because Reverend Jesse knew Peggy Bassett. So she was one of his teachers. So let's get into this. Okay, as I said, May 6th, Choices. The author is Peggy Bassett, and it is from her lesson at Huntington Beach Church of Religious Science from 1990. So, all right, and she starts out with a quote from Viktor Frankl. The last of the human freedoms to choose one's attitude at any given set of circumstances is to choose one's own way. How free are we to make choices in our lives? Although we have unlimited freedom of choice, we appear to never be free of the conditions or circumstances or consequences of those choices. Pure and simple, then, we experience the result of the choices that we have made in the past. If we continue making choices as we have up till now, our future will be a multiplication of what we are experiencing. Or as Ernest Holmes said, we will continue to create with a monotonous regularity. There is no reason to feel guilty about the choices we've made. We made those choices out of an ignorance of who we are. We forget that we are whole, perfect, and complete. We forget this and make choices that are not very fulfilling. As Deepak Chopra said, we are where we are because we have made a premature cognitive commitment to who we are. Only we can make a change in how we make choices by changing our internal definition of who we are. To do this, we must remember that we are made of the substance of God, with full omniscience and omnipotence omnipresent in our lives. Our own conditioning is in our way. We must let it go. We can no longer compromise spirit within us. Our decisions were made out of an erroneous idea of who we are. We must have the courage to learn to make choices and decisions that resonate with the divinity within us. Our decisions must resonate with us, challenge us, and have us living on our edge. This is what our lives are meant to be. We must affirm our true nature, refuse to be immobilized by our past decision, and be free to choose to reorient ourselves and turn in a new direction. Okay? She had a line in here that just really made me... Well, one, monotonous regularity. Wow. All right. I didn't know Ernest said that. But I like the quote from, we've made those choices out of ignorance of who we are. And then she quoted Deepak Chopra. We are where we are because we have made a premature cognitive commitment to who we are. We can change how we make decisions by changing our internal definition of who we are. Our internal definition of who we are. That was what she said. It was conditioning. Where is that line? It's a very long one, so you'll forgive me for losing that line. Oh, wait, yeah. No. Oh, there. Our own conditioning is in our way. Our own conditioning is in our way. I've talked about that in the past. And what I'll do is I'll talk about society, culture, religion. When we come into this world, we come into this world knowing who we are, and then we're conditioned out of it. So we come in knowing that we are beloved children of God. I mean, if you watch children, they play with this abandonment of joy. And then we teach them. We educate them out of that abandonment of joy. Because society and culture and religion and our education system, and we want them to grow up and be logical, and we slowly educate that abandonment out of them. We educate that joy out of them. We turn them into little automatons, honestly, that, little cogs in the wheels. And I'm not saying that it's bad, but I'm just like, maybe we need to notice that children come into this world knowing fully who they are, knowing that they're beloved children of God. And then society, culture, religion, all of these pressures around them proceed to tell them something different. And so then we have that line, our conditioning gets in our way. So all of the things that we have been told that we are, and as a woman, I can tell you about some of the things that I've been told that I am. And we have this conversation about masculinity. And when I was in ministerial school, I learned this idea of toxic masculinity. It's like men are taught, all of these things, and they're taught to repress their emotions. And I read somewhere that one of the greatest hijacks of emotions that we've had is convincing ourselves that anger is not an emotion. Yeah, it is. And it's one of anger can be a very positive emotion when that energy is turned to positive change. But when it's turned on ourselves, when we turn anger inwards, that can quickly become depression. And it's highly toxic. And so we have all of these conditionings that we have grown up with, and all of these, institutions, and there may be a reason why they're called institutions, that are busy telling us that this is who you have to be. And none of that's true. And so what these teachers, Peggy Bassett, Ernest Holmes, Deepak Chopra, Viktor Frankl, if you don't know who he is, look him up. He survived a concentration camp during World War II. As Deepak Chopra said, we are who we are because we've made a premature cognitive commitment to who we are. Our conditioning gets in the way. We have let other people define us instead of going back to the source of our own being, going back to the source of us, which, Peggy Bassett says, we must remember that we are made of the substance of God with full omniscience and omnipotence and omnipresent in our lives. The source of our being is spirit. The source of our being is God. All of the things that we have been told that we are, none of them matter. I said one time that I was grateful that I was diagnosed as ADHD when I was in my 30s, because by then the label didn't matter anymore. It allowed me to make different choices, but the label didn't matter anymore. So if you want the mission for today, it's that last line in this book. The mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to affirm our true nature, refuse to be immobilized by our past decisions, and be free to choose to reorient ourselves and turn in a new direction. That's kind of a long mission, but there's a lot in that. One, the mission is to recognize who we are as beloved children of God. and to refuse to, we get to acknowledge our past. We get to acknowledge the mistakes that we've made, to not be frozen in place and to think just because I've made all of these mistakes, I can't make it better now, that I can't change my mind, and recognize that we can choose differently this time. We can choose anew, and more importantly, we can change direction. All right. Just because we have spent, who is it that said that? Just because we've made all this time making a mistake doesn't mean we have to stay with them. We can choose a new direction. We can choose anew. Every day is a new day. We can choose anew. And if we are willing to reorient ourselves, if we are willing to go back to the source of our own being and choose anew, we can have a whole new life. We can have a whole new life. So I know that last line was just so worth it. It's like we let our conditioning get in our way every time. It's like sometimes when you start to react to something, you want to stop and think, well, where is this coming from? Is this coming from me, or is this what I've been taught? Because they do say that oftentimes your first reaction is what you've been taught. So your first thought is what you've been taught. Your second thought is who you really are. So don't beat yourself up for your first reaction, but try and go with your first response. And I'll remind you, the difference between a reaction and a response is the moment of consciousness, when you make a conscious choice. Okay? When you go back to the source of your own being and you make a choice instead of a reaction. All right. I'm a big believer in the difference between a reaction and a response. So I'm going to remind you again, the mission, should we choose to accept it, is to affirm our true nature, to know who we truly are, to refuse to be frozen by the decisions that we've made in the past, to choose to reorient ourselves, and if necessary, go in a completely new direction. Or maybe you just need to shift a little bit. All right? So that is the mission today. Choices. The second part of my daily reminder is to remind you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. Big, small, doesn't matter. Point is to take care of yourself. Okay? When I say practice love, kindness, and compassion on yourself, I am encouraging you to take care of yourself. If you are going to live a life of service, you must take care of yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup. It's that reminder that when you get on an airplane, they say if the oxygen mask drop, put yours on first, then help your neighbor. All right? So take care of yourself. And it looks like taking a deep breath. It looks like taking a walk. It looks like taking a nap. It looks like running away and going to play for the day at a Renaissance festival. That's what it looks like, all right? Self-care. I encourage you to practice on yourself for multiple reasons. One, you are your own best test subject. You get immediate feedback. Is this loving, kind, and compassionate? You'll find out by practicing on yourself. Then the next part of that is, do you know who you are? That sounded weird. Okay. I'm encouraging you to go to the source of your own being, to practice on yourself, to create a habit of first response, that kind of thing. And then the last part is you deserve your own love, you deserve your own kindness, you deserve your own compassion. Absolutely. All right? Practice on yourself. So I also want to remind you that also looks like it looks like making room for joy. Okay, no matter what is going on in the world, you deserve joy. Make room for that in your life. So when I say eat dessert first, sometimes I mean it. But what I always mean when I say that is don't save the good stuff. Eat the good food. Drink the good stuff. I had a waffle this morning. I had a red velvet waffle this morning. Like, did I need a red velvet waffle? No. But did I want one? Absolutely. Every now and again, eat a red velvet waffle. Okay? So The other things, I do encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body. I do encourage you to drink plenty of water, which is something I need to do today because it's going to be warm. Your brain works better when it's well hydrated. I do encourage you to get early in your day bright light. It is going to be a gorgeous sunny day. I'm going to get a lot of bright light today. As you can see out the window right here. Well, you can't see out the window. And I'm not going to show you because it's just a parking lot. But bright light. It's called a circadian rhythm. It helps to reset a natural hormone cycle when you get that early in your day. And I'm talking like 5 minutes. 5 minutes of sun on your face. It helps to reset that circadian rhythm. You'll have more energy during the day. You'll sleep better at night. It's science. You can look it up. All right. And then, as always, in the words of Ernest Holmes, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around you all the time. All right? Everything. It's all, as Peggy Bassett said, it's all God. We're all made from the same stuff. It's all God. Okay. And you can always take him as advice. Look for the good and praise it. So, all right. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. That's how you look us up on the Instas, like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. So please go check out the channels. We try and put good stuff up as, good, funny, enlightening, lighthearted, helpful. That's the kind of stuff we're trying to post up there. All right. And if you want to know what's going on in the center, email info@creativelife.org. That'll get you on the constant contact. And the constant contact, when it says click here now, those hot links are hot. They will take you right to the information you want or to the person that can help you get it. All right. I'm in a hotel room. I have no idea what's next. I know where I'm going, but all right. And I got to put sunscreen on. All right. Oh! I get to encourage you to have a great day, wondrous day, a fantastic day, magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a wear your sunscreen day, a get some sun day, a take a break day, a go say hi to some friends day, a enjoy yourself day, a take care of yourself day, a drink plenty of water day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You're a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased and well represented. As I like to remind you, you are a brilliant light. You are a divine spark. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. You are a godling. All right? Choices. That's what we talked about today. Choosing to know who you are. Choosing to recognizing who you are. Choosing to throw off that conditioning that we've had. Know who you are. All right. So Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you this evening. I will be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. And I will be back to the usual craziness with the cats and what have you. Whatever else. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.